Hi everyone, so in this video I wanted to go through applying foil to a nail using a foil gel. So I know this is something that some people tend to find that they do have difficulty in getting a full coverage. So I wanted to show you a couple of different options that you could use. So I've got Lecente's foil gel and I've also got Lecente's Stick It. There are other ones on the market as well. I've got the Edge as well, but it's essentially the same as Stick It. So I wanted to show you the difference with using either of these because you might find one you work better with than the other. So I have mentioned in other videos that this one, the foil gel, you do have to cure in a lamp, and Stick It is one that you apply and then you leave that to dry, so until it turns clear. So I want to show you the two options there. Now what I've done is I've decided I'm going to use this foil on my pop sticks. So what you would do whenever you choose your foil, you would always try and aim to use a colour in the background that's going to be similar to that. So I've gone with the black. So when you place this over, if there are any little pieces that maybe don't fully sort of stick on, then you're not going to notice too much, but you always tend to try and blend. And also if you were going to do it where you were doing half foil and half gel, this would blend nicely with that. So what I've done is I've prepared two pop sticks. I've done two colours of the black just because one colour was a little bit wishy-washy. Depending on what gel system you use, you might find one layer is enough. I've applied an Express 5 top coat over those, and then I've gone over with my disperse. So they're ready to use now. So what I would then do is on one, I would apply Stick It. So I've mentioned before with Stick It, it is a glue that you do have to leave to dry. I can open it, there we go. So if I just show you, so it's kind of like a white colour. So you wouldn't need to apply this too thickly. So I'm just going to show you on here, and you will see where I apply it because it will go a funny colour, almost like a pearlescent colour. So you want to apply enough that the foil will adhere to it, but not too much that you're going to be sat there for ages waiting for it to dry. Okay, so I'm happy with that coverage. So I would leave that to dry, and the way that you will know when that is dry is because that tinge, that almost bluey sort of colour that it's gone, will go clear. And then with this one here, I'm going to apply the foil gel. So this is actually clear, almost like a top coat. It's quite thick. So what you would do is you would apply this over your other pop stick or nail. And again, similar sort of thing, you don't want it to be too thick, but you don't want there to be not enough, that there's not enough there for the foil to actually adhere to. And then this is one that you would need to cure in your LED or your UV lamp. So that needs to go in. It is a 120-second cure, so it does need to go on for 2 minutes. So you would pop that in, and that can be curing at the same time as this one is drying. So while you're allowing those to dry, and as you'll see with this one, it is starting to dry nicely now. You can start to see where it's sort of returning to that full black colour. There is still a little bit in places, some blue, so that still does need a little bit longer. But while you're waiting for that, you can prepare your foil. So as I say, I've got this one here. So you would need to take it out and trim the amount that you want. So this is what I mean by this particular foil is see-through. So you are going to see that colour underneath. Now I could have gone for a silver underneath that, or just to go with the silver in this, or as I say, I've gone for the black. So it will fill in those other black squares, which I think will be quite nice. You could have gone for a white as well, that would have worked. So obviously bearing in mind the size of the tip, obviously these are slightly longer, so I'm going to have to go this way to make sure I get the full coverage. And then obviously cut your foil ready. So I've just got these scissors here. So they're not anything that you would use on your skin, they're not cuticle scissors, they are actual scissors for cutting foils and forms. So my foil is ready here. That is now completely see-through. So I shall show you with this one first. What you would do is you would place your foil, and I would start it in the centre. So place it on in the centre and then push your foil down. Now you can use a couple of things for applying forms. You could, if you've got some gloves, you can use your glove to obviously work that foil into the nail. You can use obviously your fingers like I'm doing here, or you can use something like this to push it into place. I've actually got this one here, so it is the Lecente T1, and I'll just show you. I'll just pull this bit off first. So it comes with different attachments. I'm just going to unscrew this lid and just show you in here. It comes with quite a few different attachments, and they all do different things. So this one here is like carving out your French polish. This one is for like burnishing in your chrome powders, and that one's for like carving out lines as well. So they're really handy. It's a really handy tool. And then you've got this one here. So I'll just screw this back on for a minute. And you can actually use that to push the foil onto the nail. Quite good for getting into those sort of nooks and crannies, so right into like the side walls of a nail or into the cuticle. Obviously it's easier on this because it's a tip, so I'm just going to bring it down here a little bit so it can push that onto it. The same here. Now a good way of telling whether your foil has transferred is, as you can see, as this foil is lifting off here, you can actually see where it's come away from the piece of paper. So that is a good indication that that has actually adhered to the nail. And then you could always, if you wanted to, sort of lift it from the side and have a little look. And if there's any areas that you feel haven't quite stuck, just give it another push. And then when you're ready, you would just peel that off. So you can see where it's come away, and you can see where it's stuck to that nail. So that is using the Lecente Stick It. So as you can see, you've got a full coverage there. The only downside to that one is you do have to sit and wait for that to dry. However, it was drying for the same amount of time as I'd got the foil gel in the lamp. So as long as you aren't applying it too thick, you're not really having to wait any sort of longer for it to do that. But I sometimes find that if you apply the foil gel and you put in the hand in the lamp, it doesn't actually seem like you're waiting as long. It's always like, it's a bit like a kettle, waiting for a kettle to boil. You know, if you sit there waiting for it, it seems to take forever. Whereas with the foil glue, obviously you put that in, foil gel, sorry, you put that in and you put the lamp on and you don't feel like you're waiting. Okay, so this is with the foil gel. And there you have it. So that's the two methods. And then what you would do is you would then go over with a top coat to make sure that that doesn't end up wearing off. So I also wanted to show you, whilst we were on the subject, some people will put 2 layers of their colour and they won't apply a top coat, and they use that tacky inhibition layer to apply their foil. Now you're not going to get a full coverage by doing that because it will slide. But what you can do, and it's something that I think is quite a nice effect, is I'm just going to come in here with this red foil. So I've scrunched it up a little bit, and then using obviously the side that isn't the shiny side, I'm going to come in and I'm going to place it onto the foil. So you can use that tacky inhibition layer that is on that pop stick, and it will help that foil that you're using adhere to it. So you can actually push it in, and the sticky inhibition layer will actually grab some of that foil, and again it leaves a really nice effect. So it kind of almost looks like you've marbled it and done it yourself, but you know, you haven't. You've just let the tacky inhibition layer do the work and used a bit of foil. And you can use any colour. I've just gone with red because I thought it was a nice contrast against the black. And that is another option to use in your foils if you didn't want to do a whole foil coverage. But obviously if you wanted a full coverage to get the pattern, then that's how you would do it. So this one is with Stick It, and this one in the middle is with your foil gel. So I actually think, for the purpose of this video, this one seems to have come away better, because I can see in a couple of places here where it hasn't properly adhered. It might have been the way that I was pressing it. I'm hoping that helps with anybody that's having any issues with getting your foil gel to actually fully stick and get a full coverage on it, and by giving you another sort of option here, and explaining that whilst you can apply a foil to your second coat with the inhibition layer, you aren't going to achieve a full coverage by doing it with that method. So what I have done, just so that you can see the difference between the white background and the black background, I have applied some foil gel to the white tip, and then I am just going to apply the foil gel to this one. Same method. So you can see that's the difference of it behind, with a white background and a black background. So it actually looks like a completely different foil. It's actually the same foil, but you've got one with a white background and one with a black background. So I hope that's helped everyone that's maybe having any issues with getting their foils to get that full coverage. And once again, please do like and subscribe, and do click the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos that I post. And again, if there are anything that you would like to see, or any things that you're having any problems with, do drop me a comment and I'll do a video for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.